Hello and welcome to today's class. Let's come find our comfortable seated position. Coming to sit a little elevated so that you can have a long extended spine and sit with ease. So as your pregnancy progresses, you'll be aware that you need to adjust how you sit. As we come to sit, we check in. How do I feel today? Has it been a stressful day, even though it was a beautiful day here? Did you have patience? Was your patience tested? How have you been sleeping? So just coming to honor all of that and observing how you feel. Coming to close the eyes. Come place your hands onto babes. Feel the warmth of the hands radiating onto the belly. And as you close the eyes, allow the tip of the tongue to rest behind the two front teeth as you draw the inner gaze inwards and upwards to the brow point. And here we come to close the eyes. As the shoulders release away from the ears, keeping your earlobes stacked above your shoulders. You may need to draw the skull back a fraction. And especially with the growth of babes, there's a greater awareness of drawing down through the back of the body bones so that you're aware of a broadening in the lower back. And there may be this release of tension. Excuse me. So observing how the positioning in the pelvis can shift in pregnancy due to the weight of your growing baby. The pelvis has a tendency to tilt forwards. So we want to correct that and allow for that grounding in the back of the buttock bones to bring the pelvis back into neutral and to relieve that pressure and strain that comes into the lower back due to pregnancy. Relaxing is flowing through the body, everything is shifting. And as we allow the tip of the tongue to rest behind the two front teeth, we continue to draw the inner gaze inwards and upwards to the brow point. We continue to allow the shoulders to release away from the ears. And notice how you dropping into your breath, how your connection to your breath shifts the dynamics in the body, helps you drop into a calmer state as you soothe the parasympathetic nervous system. And 2 more cleansing breaths in. And 2 more steady cleansing breaths out. You have given yourself the gift of booking a yoga class. So we take the time to reclaim our energy, to draw it inwards as we drop into the breath. We drop into our bodies and we connect with our babies, your babies. And this is part of that giving back to self. It's holding the space for yourself to breathe, cleansing breaths in, and steady cleansing breaths out. Small snack. Do not go over the top, please. Two more breaths in. And 2 more steady cleansing breaths out. And as you exhale, come take your hands together at the heart and come bow your chin down to your heart, honoring your body and inviting your magnificent mind to merge with the wisdom of your body and your soul and that of your baby. And slowly coming to open the eyes back into the room. All right. We're going to take the hands out in front. We're going to bring right pointer finger on top of left. We're going to turn the hands inside out. Release your shoulders away from the ears and gently turn the head from side to side. Continue to observe the quality of the breath here as you breathe and as you observe. And as you come back to center, come raise the arms up, release the shoulders down away from the ears, knit the ribs together. So be mindful that as you raise the arms up, that you don't lift the ribs forwards and compress the lower back. Buttock bones need to remain descending, and you're knitting front and back ribs together. As you are, your shoulder blades are drawing down the back of your body and your heart continues to rise. Full cleansing breaths in and out. And then extend the arms up and gently come forwards. Keeping buttock bones rooted to the earth. Feel them descending so that the spine can ascend. Now, it may feel more comfortable to bring the hands alongside the thighs, knees, or out in front. Or of course, you can use your yoga block and rest your hands onto your yoga block if the floor feels too far away. But breathe, close the eyes, draw your senses inwards, and as you slightly hinge forwards, find that nice opening in the pelvis, in the hips. Maintain your cleansing inhale and your smooth, steady cleansing exhale. Find that long breath in, and that long, even breath out. And notice how this slowing down, this connecting to the breath may already be bringing a shift to your consciousness, a shift to your mind, shift to your thought patterns, shift to how you feel in your body. Change the interlock of the legs, bring the non-automatic leg in front. Engage the outer edges of the feet once again. Taking palms of the hands together, this time we bring left on top of right. And we turn the hands inside out, and we gently turn the head from side to side. Observing the quality of the breath. And then you gently come back to center. And then you raise the arms up overhead. Shoulders are descending down. Shoulder blades are descending down as well. The heart is lifting and the crown is rising. Feel free to keep the elbows bent. If you notice it's available to you to straighten them a bit more, you may. One more cleansing breath in. And as you exhale, release the interlock. Take all that length with you as you rest. Hands onto the box. And elongate through the spine. Find that wonderful opening in the hips. Full breaths in and out. What are you doing? Oh, can you not find the control? And as you breathe in, gently easing. Good. All right, rest the hands onto the thighs. And we're going to circle. Now, depending on how far along you are in your pregnancy, will dictate just how far you can go forwards. But you don't have to go far to feel a nice opening. And we'll go the other way. Gentle circle. You can't go far back either because you don't have any abs really. But just this gentle circular motion will feel good. Go the other way if you haven't already. Okay. And then we ease back to center. Good. Let's come onto our hands and knees. As you come onto the hands and knees, you're going to spread your fingertips and thumb pads wide. Middle finger is in line with the center of the wrist. Now, if you've been having some wrist complaints due to excess fluids and blood, remember to roll the head of your mat and allow the heel of the hand to sit a little elevated to the fingertips. Now curl the toes under, lift the buttocks, descend the belly, and lengthen the heart forward. You can even pause here, just let babes hang. And just think of wagging the tail, let the hips sway from side to side, however it feels best to you. Letting the spine release. All right. When we come back to center, let the tops of the feet rest to the earth. And then inhale, round the back. Tuck the chin into the chest, broaden through the back of the shoulders, lengthening through the spine. And then as we inhale, we curl the toes under and we lengthen forwards. As we exhale, we round. And we inhale and we extend. And we continue that fluid back and forth. Allowing the movement and the breath to be in sync. And we liberate the spine. We create more ease and fluidity in the spine as we draw back and forth. And then as we come back to center, we'll transfer the weight to the right knee and we'll stretch that left leg out behind you. Curl the toes under, press out through the heel. Allow the shoulders to draw away from the ears and you're dropping the outer left hip and you're bringing your awareness to the inner left groin. Should be a really nice calf stretch here. There's a slight drawing of front ribs to back ribs to help stabilize front and back body and make that connection. And then from that lifting of that left inner groin, the left leg is going to raise. You're going to continue to spread the toes wide. You can stay as you are, or you can float the opposite arm alongside the ear. You can allow that right thumb to point upwards to the ceiling. Now, as you know, you can rest your toes to the floor and just raise the arm, or just raise the leg and keep the hand on the floor. You decide. Release right hand back to the floor if it was raised. Cross your left foot over to the right side, and then come look over your right shoulder. Let your left hip lengthen to the left heel and breathe into that wonderful stretch through the side body. Easing back to center as we gently rock the hips from side to side. You can do a horseshoe shape, or just move the hips from right to left. As you come back to center, we'll shift the weight now to that left knee and we'll stretch the right leg out behind us, curling the toes under. Drop the outer hip and bring your awareness to the inner groin once again. Bring your front ribs to your back ribs as you contain. And then as you power up through the leg, we're gently going to come, raise the leg up. Drop the outer right hip as you raise, spreading out through your toes. You can stay as you are, or you can float that left arm alongside the ear, let the left thumb point upwards to the ceiling. If that feels strenuous or you just don't have the energy today, do less. Give yourself that permission. You're doing an awful lot as it is. Cross that right foot over to the left side. Let the right hip lengthen to the heel and come look over that left shoulder. Breathing into the sides of the body. And then we ease gently back to center. Good. Draw the buttocks down towards the heels. We're going to come to a restorative child's pose. So come improvise with your bolster, unless you have one. You'll be placing a block underneath, and you'll place your bolster or your rolled up blanket over the top. Knees nice and wide. Enough room for babes. If you're further along in your pregnancy, you'll have more space between the edge of the bolster and your ribs. If you're less further along and there's more availability, you can stay closer in. Now, again, feel free to have an extra blanket in between the feet to give the buttocks a little lift. You've got that extra fluid in the body, so you may need a little extra support under the buttocks so that there's less tension over the ankles, the feet, and the legs. As you keep the buttocks rooting into the earth, lengthen through the spine, and softly come forwards. You can bring the arms either side of the bolster and give it a nice cuddle, or rest the hands and arms on the floor. But here you're going to come to close your eyes. With every exhalation, you're going to allow for that surrender, allow for that gentle letting go. With every breath out, allow the physical body to surrender deeper into the earth. As you close the eyes, allow the physical body to surrender deeper into your bolster, finding that cleansing exhalation. I need to step out the room for a second. Stay as you are. Continue to breathe and release. When you're ready, gently coming to place the hands onto the earth. And then slowly easing yourself gently back up. You can come back onto the hands and knees, and you can alternate stretching out through the sole of the foot. And if you're reminded of how much you love this posture, give yourself the gift of doing it, of taking it. Because when we're in pregnancy, and especially with COVID, probably don't have the network you had before to support you. And it's about carving that time for yourself, just as we carve the time, make the time for our children and for your significant other. So it's a very important part, is that self-care for yourself. Not only when you're pregnant and carrying life, but also for that postpartum period as well, especially after your second. And for you, it's also in quick succession, as it was with me. So you do need that recoup time, postpartum now more than ever, and now when you're pregnant, now more than ever. So give yourself that gift of recognizing and honoring that you can put your feet up. Sometimes we don't always allow ourselves to do that, and that is indeed important. All right, let's come on up to standing. And we'll come either to the head of the mat or to the back of the mat, whatever supports you. And we'll come find our Tadasana. Allow your middle toe to align with the center of the heel. Allow your hands to rest at heart center. Your knees have a micro bend in them, barely visible, but you know it's there. And your buttock bones have that energetic drawing downwards towards the heels. Notice how that act in and of itself shifts the weight back. It allows you to descend into the back body a little more. And hopefully it helped to neutralize the positioning of the pelvis to bring that pelvis more into balance. Because again, the growth of babes at the front of the body tends to tilt the pelvis, which is why we get that lower backache. And we want to descend the tailbone down so that we maintain that balance in the pelvic floor and we lessen the strain of the lower back. So our Tadasana is so important. Take hands to heart center. Take a moment's breath here as you have the eyes open or closed. And then we'll take 3 breaths. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. And as you exhale, come sweep the arms steadily back down. Inhale, raise the arms, sweeping them up. Exhale, and drawing them steadily back down. Good. Hands come to heart center. We're going to shift the weight to the right foot. We're going to step the left foot back behind us. Keep your feet hip width apart. Keep your back left foot more north than it is out to the left side, so as to protect that knee and allow you to keep a level pelvis so that you can descend the buttock bones down and you can liberate the spine without torquing in the back body by having left hip back, right hip forwards. You want to try and bring right and left hip forwards on the same level. Hands to heart center. Eyes open or closed. Shift into your back heel. Feel the grounding of your back heel. Feel the strength in that back leg, straight and strong. Front knee is bent. Right heel or right knee is stacked above right heel. You may stay as you are, or inhale as you sweep the arms up overhead. The shoulders are descending down away from the ears, and from that grounding in the back body, you are ascending and rising up through the spine. Full cleansing breaths in and out, harnessing the breath. One more inhale, one more exhale. And then as you breathe out, you release the arms back down. And as you take your hands to heart center, you step your back foot to the head of the mat. Drop back into your Tadasana once again. Eyes open or closed, find your center. As you pause here and breathe, you find that repositioning of the pelvis again. When you're ready, shift the weight into that left foot and come step the right foot back. Rooting into the back right heel, keep the hips square to the front of the room. And as you inhale, you begin to raise the arms up overhead. Again, shoulders descending away from the ears, the ribs are knitting together as you ascend and rise. Eyes open or closed, but stand in your power of your warrior. Find your grounding. Still root into that back right heel and roll the right inner upper groin in. Feel the hips square to the front of the room. And as you ascend, release the shoulders. Full cleansing breaths in and out. Good. Standing in your power as you exhale, you sweep the arms back down. And you come, take the hands to heart center and step the back foot to the head of your mat. Drop back into your Tadasana. Hands to heart center. This brings everything back into the midline of the body. Your shoulder blades are drawing down the back of the body. Your collarbone is broad. And as your buttock bones energetically descend downwards to your heels, you find your inch below the belly button as you draw in towards the spine and you lift and lengthen up to the heart. Heart lengthens to throat, throat to the crown of your head. You continue to find your breath. Full cleansing breaths in and out. From this steady, grounded place, come step the feet 3 to 4 feet apart. We're going to turn the right toes in, and we're going to turn the left toes out. So the middle toe is in line with the center of the heel, and the heel of the front foot is in line with the heel or the arch of the back foot. If you're dealing with sciatica or any nerve pain in the back of the leg, then turn those right toes in a little more, and that will create a little more space in the back body, the back sacrum. All right, we're going to bend the front left knee. Let it stack above the heel. You're going to lengthen through the inner thigh, and you're going to draw back through the outer thigh. You're going to keep the hips level. When you're ready, you're going to float the arms parallel to the earth. Shoulders are releasing away from the ears. And you softly extend the gaze over the fingertips of your front hand. Now, if you feel that that taxes you, if that feels heavy and it feels like you have to push through, then do not do the arms. Keep the hands at heart center. Work on your foundation. Work on your grounding and your steadiness in your legs. It's not about, it's all right, I'll muscle through it. No. Especially in pregnancy, especially with number 2. Here is where we want to pull back and conserve our energy. You're still putting out a lot just by sustaining the posture. Shoulders are releasing away from the ears, the buttock bones are descending, the heart is ascending and rising. And then we're going to hinge. We're going to bend and crease in this front left hip and just angle the torso so it's over this front left leg. So it means creating a deeper crease in this left hip. And as you angle over to the left side, try to keep right shoulder stacked above left, right ribs stacked above left. Try to keep the back foot rooted and grounded to the earth as the spine ascends. Cleansing breaths in and out. One more inhale, one more exhale. And then from your feet and legs, we'll slowly hinge back up. Take the bend out of the front knee. Lift the toes of the front foot, turn them in. And then lift the toes of the back foot, turn them out. Again, middle toe is in line with the center of the heel. Heel of front foot is in line with heel or arch of back foot. And as you bend through that front knee, you lengthen through the inner groin and you draw back through the outer groin. You allow your hips to be level, and then you come float the arms parallel to the earth once again. If you did not do it on the other side, again, bring hands to heart center and softly extend the gaze over the fingertips of that imaginary right hand or the literal right hand. Full breaths in and out. Feel the grounding from your feet. Feel the strength in your legs. Remember, this right knee wants to remain stacked above the heel. So you're lengthening through the inner groin. You're drawing back through the outer groin. As you ascend, your buttock bones descend so that there's, again, stability in the pelvis, and babes isn't tilting your pelvis forward. Now, we bring hands to heart center. If you had them extended out, you bring your hands back to heart center. And we crease in this right hip crease so that you remain rooted and grounded in the back left foot. Left shoulder stacks above right shoulder. Left ribs stack above right ribs. And we have that nice long line from hip to armpit. And we're rooting into the feet as we extend and lengthen through the spine. Cleansing breaths in and out. Observing the breath as we go. Staying anchored in our foundation. And then from the feet and legs, we gently ease back up. Good. And then we slowly take the bend out of the front knee. Lift the toes of the front foot as you turn them in. And lift the toes of the back foot as you turn them out. This time we're going to go to triangle. So we're keeping both legs straight and strong. And we're allowing the inner groin to rotate so that the kneecap aligns with the toes. As you exhale, you're going to crease in this front hip. You still remain grounded and rooted into the back foot as you lengthen and extend through the spine. Again, right shoulder stacks above left, right ribs above left. Less is more. Hands stay at heart center so that you stay connected to that midline of the body. And as you root into the feet, you create that lightness in the spine. Full breaths in and out. Cleansing breaths in. Steady cleansing breaths out. If you feel strain, come up just a tiny bit and notice that can liberate you and it can give greater ease in your experience of the posture. One more cleansing breath in. And then slowly float back to center once again. Good. Lift the toes of the front foot, turn them in. Lift the toes of the back foot, turn them out. See days. Roll the right inner upper groin out so the kneecap aligns with the toes. And then again, we're going to crease in the hip as we draw the right hip down now. As we root into the back left foot, we feel the grounding in the feet and legs, and that allows the spine to ascend and rise and lengthen. Left shoulder stacks above right, left ribs above right. As you root into the feet, you elongate and lengthen through the spine, shoulders descending away from the ears. Observe the quality of your breath. Full cleansing breaths in and out. And then as you root into the feet, you ease steadily back up. Lift the toes of the front foot, turn them in, and allow your toes to be in line. And then come take your hands into your back pockets. Draw the elbows inwards towards each other and let the hands rest on the buttocks as if you have pockets in your yoga pants. So it's nice and low on the flesh of the buttocks. You're descending your buttock bones down. And this again helps to bring the pelvis into a neutral position. As you're descending the buttock bones down, you're gently drawing the elbows inwards towards each other. You're knitting the ribs together. You're finding your breath here. Smooth, cleansing breaths in and out. One more in breath, one more out breath. You can stay right here. If you find that it's available to you to do a very baby back bend, then feel free to do so. You will, as you draw the elbows in towards each other, you're going to gently allow the back of the heart to rise and lift upwards towards the front of the heart. So there's a very slight coiling action in the thoracic, in the upper back. You find a very gentle lift and rise. And then from this lift and rise, we're going to hinge forwards, gently folding forwards. Let the hands rest onto the thighs. Let baby hang forwards. Let the belly be soft, but the legs are strong. So the flesh of the thighs are hugging to the bone. And you may be up here, right? But you are knitting the ribs together so that this mid and lower back is stable and protected. Might be a nice stretch along the back of the legs. Take a breath. Even though the legs are apart, think of squeezing the legs together and drawing the energy up through the soles of the feet. One more breath in. And one more cleansing, steady breath out. And then we'll gently ease up very slowly back to center. Good. As the hands rest at heart center, we're going to heel, toe, the feet together as we come back to our Tadasana. Take a moment's pause here, eyes open or closed. If they're open, let the gaze softly extend out on a non-moving object. Hold your drishti, steady your gaze. If you're drawing the eyes inwards, let your drishti gaze inwards and upwards to the brow point. And then opening the eyes gently once again. Good. Let's come make our way down to the floor. I would like you to come sit onto your blanket. You're going to be slightly elevated. So make sure there's enough of a fold in the blanket for you to have what's called a neutral spine, for you to have ease in sitting upright. We're going to keep the knees bent, and you can rest the feet onto the floor. Fingers are cupped under the backs of the knees, and your elbows are drawing in towards your ribs. And notice as you gently squeeze the elbows into the ribs, notice how it opens you up through the collarbone and helps to create a soft lift up through the heart. Shoulder blades are descending down the back of the body. And you still have that slight knitting together of the ribs. Right? Legs are nice and wide, so babes has the space. You may need to have the legs a little lower if you still find that babes is getting in the way a little. And I want you to feel, can you feel your buttock bones descending into the earth? And from that descending quality in your buttock bones, Allow the spine to rise. Allow there to be a lightness in that ascending quality of the spine. Good. One more cleansing breath in. One more steady cleansing breath out. You can stay right here if you're like, oh, this is good. I'm getting a nice opening in my hips. My spine has ease in sitting upright. If you don't have ease in the back and you feel it's rounding in the back anywhere and it's straining, you need to sit higher. So get yourself an extra cushion, get yourself an extra blanket, give yourself that throne and sit higher. Allow for that space. Once you've found your sweet spot, your spine is elevated, your buttock bones are rooted, and if you feel you can go a little deeper, you're going to slightly ease the feet out. So the foot won't be flat to the earth anymore. It will now be the heels rooting into the earth. That may be enough. You may find that you can draw the legs a little further. But what's most important is that do you still feel the grounding in your buttock bones? And do you still rise up through the spine with ease? If it shifts and then you get that rounding in the back, it's because your hamstrings are tight and both actions cannot happen at this time. So retract the legs, bring the knees a little more bent so that you find that place where you can ascend and rise. All right, so that's the action of pulling back. If you feel you're fine and that you can actually go a little deeper, then you'll explore, is it in my practice to straighten the legs? So you cater to your needs where you are at this time. Because remember, our hamstrings tighten as babes grows. The body's wisdom, counteracting the weight that's growing on the front of the body, there needs to be more stabilization, and that's where the hamstrings contract to say, we got it, got things under control, we'll help with this growth in the front by reining it in the back. So that's the body's wisdom doing its thing. So that's why we want to honor if the legs need to remain bent, or if it's in our practice to have the legs straight. The legs may be a little closer in, and then we come to rest the fingertips to the earth. Come to broaden through the collarbone as we rise. And as we root into the heels, we allow the middle toe to align with the center of the heel. We allow the heart to ascend, collarbone to broaden. We maintain that steady, cleansing breath in and out. Full in breath and smooth, steady, cleansing out breath. Feel free to close the eyes. Feel free to draw the senses inwards. And as you inhale, we rise up and lengthen. And as you exhale, you stay as you are, or you gently hinge forwards. But allow yourself to be still. If your legs are still bent, then just stay upright. But I invite you to close the eyes and connect more deeply with the breath. Smooth, steady breaths in, even, steady, cleansing breaths out. 5 more breaths here. So this is a forward fold. Even if you are sitting upright and there's just a very slight forward motion happening in the pelvis. But forward folds are about surrender, about that letting go. And that is really such a beautiful attribute for pregnancy, labor, and postpartum. Is letting go of the should haves, could haves, must haves, and dropping back to doing so much less, to pulling back and conserving our energy, of letting all those rules that confined us before, letting them all go to whatever extent we can. And just allow this being, your other children, to be your priority. Now, your self-care is a first priority. Very second, close are the children. Because if we come and become depleted, then we can't be there for the children. You know, it's that old airplane protocol. Put your mask on before you put the mask on of your children or other family members. Because we can't serve if we have not taken care. So this practice, even here, of closing the eyes, finding stillness, and just being, and finding your breath. Goodness, you may notice, I'm sad. You may need to have a nice little cry here. Honor it. You may find that drawing inwards and being still is so delicious and comforting and warming. You decide. You bear witness to what is presenting itself to you as you allow yourself to be still and quiet. This is how we listen to what it is that we need, by allowing ourselves to be still and quiet. And dropping into the breath, connecting with the body parts that are in contact with the earth, and allowing the spine to ascend. All right, inhale. Gently ease back up if you've hinged forwards. And you come take your hands behind you and you just retract. Roll the pelvis back so that there's greater ease in retracting the legs. We're going to come to cross-legged. Actively engaging the outer edges of the feet into the earth. We're going to do a gentle twist. Take your right hand on the outside of your left thigh. Come take your left hand and place it behind, snug up to the buttocks. So close in to the back body. You're up on your fingertips. You're gently releasing the shoulders and you're coming to a soft revolve, turning the head to look over the right shoulder, left shoulder towards the wall behind you. And it's very gentle in pregnancy. We don't want to do a big twist because that's too heating. You have enough heat in the body. So it's a gentle twist just to keep that spine lubricated and free. And then we inhale as we ease gently back to center. Change the interlock of the legs and go to the other side. Take your left hand on the outside of your right thigh. Take the right hand now behind you. Release the shoulders away from the ears, and here again, gently come revolve now to the right. Softly extend the gaze over that right shoulder. And there's a gentle drawing back of right ribs, drawing back, left ribs drawing forwards. One more breath in, one more breath out. And then we ease back to center. All right, let's come down for our final resting pose. If you are in your second trimester, you may take your block and your bolster or your rolled up blanket. Remember, you'll need 4 blankets in addition to whatever you made your bolster out of. All right. We'll go behind. So, it's like a cooking show. I've prepared them already. So here's what I already prepared. So your blankets are folded and they're set to the side. These are your arm pillows. These can be your cushions that you have on the couch. These can be your pillows, whatever it is that you wish to use. Your blanket, a firmer blanket, is open to the length, and then you're going to fold it and fold it so it's a nice long strip. Remember this? You're going to place the middle of the blanket over the center of your feet. As you raise your knees, you slide your arms under the knees, and then you fold that blanket double under the shins so that the legs have that nice support. Even if you're fairly open in the hips, you want to feel that support because when you lie back, the opening in the hips is going to be more significant. So you don't want to feel your max in the opening of the hips here already because there's still a little ways to go. All right. So your buttocks are all the way up to the back of the bolster. Your blankets are out to the side. Take your hands behind you so that you have the support of the arms to elongate yourself back so that you rest back over the bolster. Now, if you're feeling tension in the lower back, you're just gently going to lift the hips and release them back down. And that will help to reposition and level out the pelvis. 4th blanket is under the back of the head. So the head is a little higher than the heart. Here we close the eyes. If you have eye pillow, place it on. If you have hand pillows, place them in your hands and allow the shoulders to release away from the ears. Allow the bottom jaw to release from the top jaw. And you should feel that physical support of the body as you surrender. So this is for first and second trimester. If you have transitioned into your third trimester, you will be on your side. So you'll just need the one blanket and your bolster. You can place the bolster in between the legs so that this top leg is in line with the hip, or you can straighten out the bottom leg and bring that bolster nice and snug up under babes. Come to lie onto your side, find your pillow, and bringing the bolster snug up to babes and snug up to the pelvis allows you to draw this right hip a little further forwards to the left and still not have the sense that you're squishing babes and still give you that nice sense of stability. You can always take that extra blanket so that the top arm has an additional resting point. And you come to close the eyes. Just lying here makes me yawn, but I won't doze off. With every exhalation, allow the physical body to release a little deeper into the earth. Every exhalation, allow the physical body to surrender a little deeper into the earth. gently beginning to deepen the breath and begin to bring yourself gently back into the room. Just gently come to turn and rest the forehead down to the earth, just to ground you and bring you back. And then by using that right hand, we'll gently help ease you back up. Coming back up to your comfortable seated position. As we come to sit in that comfortable seated position once again, hands to heart center. And we come to seal our practice. Steady breath in. Come to swallow in your throat. Namaste. The divine light within me honors and sees the divine light within you. Wishing you a wonderful rest of the day wherever you are in your day taking this lesson in. And I hope it serves you in all the ways that it needs. Any blessings, reach out if you have any other questions or need for assistance.